All of this right now.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. We'll see me too. Okay, perfect.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's Charlie Bengal Jr., the CEO of Remax Allegiance, and welcome to the Allegiance Way Show, the Daily Dose. Before we get to our special guest, I wanted to start today with some comments on the market. In the last week, within 35 miles of the White House, we've had 935 coming soon listings. We've had 1,350 new active listings. We've had 1,738 listings go under contract, and we've had 1,500 closings. So the market continues to move for those sellers that want to sell and those buyers that want to buy. They have advantages of moving in this market. I also wanted to go over a few wins. Brian Block in the last week, 2 ratified offers out of the Alexandria West office. Crystal Jacques, 2 closings down in Virginia Beach. Tyler Shelton down in Virginia Beach put 2 listings on the market, and both went under contract on the same day. And then Chris Logan out of Franconia, he got a buyer off the fence by using a mortgage dialogue that Coach Amy and I talked about last week. What is that mortgage dialogue? Well, if you have buyers who are already qualified, pre-approved, ready to go, and they're comfortable transacting now, in other words, they're not concerned about becoming furloughed or losing their job, and they're using a special loan program, be it an 80-10-10 or something else, you may want to have a conversation with them because some of these programs are starting to disappear. So be mindful of that. If you need coaching around that, you can let me know. And then as a reminder, the basics, what should we always be doing? What have we done for as long as we've been in business and as long as we will continue to be in business? That is marketing and prospecting, following up and nurturing those leads, getting appointments and converting them, and then servicing and closing those leads. So with that, my special guest today is Naima Johnson from Bright MLS. She has been in the real estate industry for 10 years and has been a coach with Bright for 2. And we are having her on a class on this Friday at 11 o'clock, where she is going to be discussing all things Bright. And so this is a preview of that. We're going to touch on some stuff that she's going to cover in her 90 minutes on Friday. So be sure to join us there. You can go to theallegianceway.com and click on events to register for that special event. Naima, it's good to see you. Welcome to the show.
Yes, thank you all so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's certainly our pleasure. Talk to me about what you and your friends at Bright are seeing with the real estate market in general.
Well, that is a great question. So one of the things that we are seeing, so if you think about it, Bright puts out a market update every month, and it's typically a month behind. So we just released the March market update, and I'm actually going to take you guys so you guys can see exactly the stats that we published. So I just logged on to Bright, and we have the Bright Steps COVID-19 resources. And if I scroll down, actually, if I just click on steps for your clients, it's going to take you right here to the market. So one of the things that you guys are constantly going to be hearing is, how is the market? You're going to be hearing that from buyers and just other people who are genuinely interested in the market. So I'm going to just click on this link and I will show you what you will find. So if we click on April 20th, for example, it's going to take us to a PowerPoint and it's going to give us some market trends here. And I think you guys will be surprised in terms of how the market is actually performing. So for example, if we look at this slide here, you're going to see the daily new listings for Virginia. And if we scroll down to the bottom, the orange line, of course, represents 2020 numbers versus 2019, which is in blue. So it's very close.
It sure is. It's almost identical. That's amazing.
It's almost identical. So, it's not as bad as, you may think it is. So you can't necessarily believe everything that you are hearing in the media. One of the things about our marketplaces, which is, very unique, is that we are protected and insulated by the government. So while the rest of the country may be experiencing some declines or sharp declines in housing, or just other markets, our market does have that protection. If we scroll down to the next page, you'll see new purchase contracts for Virginia. So again, we want to look at that orange line. So it's not too far off from the blue line. So this market update is available for you on a weekly basis. And I would just highly recommend that you guys come in and you look to see what's happening. We're always going to be measuring new listings that have gone under contract. This page or this slide is referring to listings changing to temp off status, which we'll talk about in just a moment. But temp off status, so as you can see, there is an increase in that. And we'll go into that as well. So to answer your question, our market hasn't been as impacted as maybe other marketplaces, at least for the month of March and going into April.
I like it. Very good. I appreciate that. How has COVID-19 affected the policies at Bright?
Great question. So one of the things that Bright wanted to do or make sure that we did was we wanted to remove barriers from your business. We realized that there's so much uncertainty in our external environment right now, and that's not something Bright wants to add to. So because of that, we have relaxed quite a few of our policies. For example, typically when you have a listing, and it goes into an active status. In an active status, you have to physically be showing those listings. Well, in this environment, our local government, our state government, they have rules in place where they are restricting our ability to show homes or even have an open house. So as a result of that, we are now no longer requiring you to have like that physical showing. Instead, we have relaxed that policy, and we will now allow a virtual tour. A virtual tour, for example, could just be a combination of photos, videos. It could even be a 360-degree view. But a video tour or a virtual tour, is essentially just a pre-recorded tour where there's no interaction between you as the agent and the client. It's just that, it's a tour. So that's one of the things that we've done. The second thing that we have done is we've definitely have a lot more flexibility around the temporarily off status or the TO status. So previously with the TO status, you would use that when, maybe you have a listing that's live and there was a flood in the basement, and now you are going to temporarily take that listing off the market while you get that basement fixed. Your listing will come back on whenever you do get that listing, or when you get that property resolved, that error resolved. Well, now with temporarily off market, because many of our sellers or some of our sellers may have some concerns about listing their home, you have the ability to go back and forth from active to TO as many times as you need.
Okay.
So you can start off in active, and then you can go to TO if your seller says, oh, I don't know. It's going to rain this weekend, and I just don't know if I want a lot of people in the house on top of the fact of COVID. Then you can go into TO. But then if they want to, maybe show it on Sunday, then they can go back to active. So you can go back and forth multiple times.
How does that affect the days on market?
So when it goes into TO, for example, TO, the days on market are actually paused.
Okay.
And then when it comes back to active, then it will accrue again.
Got it. Okay, awesome. How can I manage my business remotely during this time?
Great question. That's probably the $1 million question, I would say. So one of the things that Bright put together is the virtual toolkit. And I would highly check it out. So I'm actually going to show you guys where you can go to check it out. So it's actually right here, Bright Steps. your virtual toolkit. And this virtual toolkit is really going to cover 8 different steps or 8 different categories that you are going to want to continue to do. So it's actually something that I heard you mention earlier, like there's some, task of your business that you will always do regardless if you work remote
Sure.
versus if you are not working remote. So the very first thing is managing your listings. You definitely want to go in now and manage and update your listings. You have to make sure now more than ever that your photos pop, that you have professional photography. It's springtime, so you definitely want to try to make sure that you are capturing the spring season. So if you have any photos of your listings with snow, I would
All
definitely
right.
take those down. The second thing that we recommend is to still continue to collaborate and nurture those relationships with your clients. I can't think of a better way to do that than with the client portal. When you log in each day, you will automatically see who your recent visitors are that are coming to the portal, maybe by way of auto email. But if you check that client portal, if you get in the habit of checking it every day, you'll be able to see who or which of your clients are saving favorites, discarding their listings, sending you notes. That's a great way to just be proactive and stay on top of that. In addition to the client portal, of course, you have HomeSnap Pro, which is also one of Bright's partners, and it's a great app for your clients who are searching and want to continue to search from their phone. This is actually a great app to invite your clients to join you on, and your information will be branded to them as their go-to agent. So HomeSnap Pro is actually really good for keeping you top of mind. Remind Pro also has a similar feature where you can invite your clients on as well. If you invite your clients on with Remind Pro and even HomeSnap Pro, they are only going to see your information. So it's important that you get to them first. Cloud CMA is just another way that you can also continue to manage your business. If you're interested in creating flyers or a more robust CMA report, then the Cloud CMA is also a great feature to use. In terms of e-signatures, you guys, I'm sure you all have something.
Yep, we use Authentisign typically, at least in Northern Virginia. Yep.
Yep, so that is a member benefit. So you definitely want to continue to use that. It will save you a lot of time. In terms of managing your business and generating new leads, that's always something that agents are looking to do, generate leads. So this step here, there's actually a few different tools within this step. So these are all considered our premium tools. So HomeSnap Pro is included in your Bright membership. But in addition to Pro, there's Pro Plus, which is like the top platinum plan. So that's something that you may want to check out. You may want to explore all of these new tools, and all of these tools have discounts in place. Next, gain market knowledge. We already touched on that a little bit, but it's really important now more than ever that you know what's happening in that marketplace. People are going to be looking to you as the expert. They're going to want to know what's happening in Alexandria, how many listings are coming on. I just actually was looking through the market update for March, and I saw that Alexandria had like the shortest days on market out of all, out of every, I guess, jurisdiction in our area, which was 6 days on market as opposed to Arlington, which had 7 days. I think DC had 12 days. So it's just that kind of thing, just knowing that knowledge and being able to share with people when they ask, what's the median price of a home, or what's the average days on market. Another thing that you guys really may want to take advantage of is the Inman Select membership. It is, just part of your Bright subscription, and you can access that through here. So it's a great time to know what's happening in our industry. There's a lot of changes happening with some of your competitors. And it's just really good to just know, keep a pulse of our industry. The next step are hosting virtual meetings and showings. So, while we don't have the ability to bring clients into our offices to meet with them or to go meet with them at Starbucks, you can still have coffee on a Zoom platform or on FaceTime. That's a great way to just stay engaged. It's also a great platform to use to conduct those buyer consults that you may be doing, or even listing consults. So Zoom is a popular one. Everyone knows that. But of course, there's FaceTime, there's Skype, Google Hangouts is also really popular too. And these can work for virtual meetings and virtual showings. Creating those virtual tours, you have a few different platforms and resources that you can use for that. Virtual open houses definitely are the new, I guess, the new rave. I mean, that's really our only option now for conducting an open house.
Right.
But I've seen a few, and they have gone over pretty well. So definitely with the virtual open houses, you can use HomeSnap stories. So the stories, that's a feature that is only within the HomeSnap app. So it's similar to Facebook stories or Instagram. And then of course, you have a few others here. And then if you guys are just not sure who you can turn to for virtual tours, we have actually published a very long list of virtual tour vendors that you can check out. And while that's loading, it's probably, I would say, like maybe 15 different vendors that you can reach out to. And most of them have discounts right now.
Okay.
So yeah, so we have quite a few resources available for you to keep your business alive, keep it moving forward, generating new leads, and again, just remaining top of mind.
I love it. Appreciate you sharing that. A couple questions have come in, and we're not going to get into the weeds on coming soon, right? If you all have questions about coming soon, Friday class, you can ask. So can you show houses when a listing is temporarily off, or does that agent need to flip it to active when it's being shown?
Yes, great question. So no, you cannot show houses in TO. You would move it to TO when the seller says, you know what, I just want to take a break from showing properties. But the moment you are ready to show up the property, then you have to move it back to active.
Got it. And somebody had a comment. He feels like TO promotes pocket listings. I don't know if you want to go there today with comments on that.
No, TO is, I could see why you might think that, but TO is really something that your seller will dictate. So if your seller is feeling very uneasy about just having multiple people in their home, that's why you would use the TO. At some point, it's probably going to go back to active. If it does not to go back to active, then we may want to explore other statuses, such as maybe withdrawn or canceled. So withdrawn would be a situation where the seller just says, I just want to wait until this entire COVID environment is beyond, like we're beyond it. Well, we don't have a crystal ball, so we don't exactly know when that will be. So if that is the case, then if you still have the listing agreement in place, then you would have to move the listing, you would move the listing to withdrawn.
Okay.
Sit in withdrawn until the listing agreement expires.
Okay. Got it. I think we could be caught in the weeds with the different scenarios and concerns around this, and our time is certainly limited. So talk to me about how we can ease seller concerns around listing their home, right?
Yes. So very, very important question. And one of the things that you can do is, so we actually put together this infographic that I think it'll be very helpful in determining or just in helpful in explaining to your seller what their options are. So we do have this graphic, and again, like I said, it's largely going to be determined by how comfortable your seller feels. So you can let them know they have options. They're not necessarily locked in.
Mm-hmm.
If they want to sell today, then it can go inactive. That's what it would be. But at any given time, you can let them know that they can hit that pause button and we can take it off. We can, go into TO. We can also set up our showings in such a way that that there's not going to be any overlapping appointments. So, you could set it up where, if an agent schedules a showing from 1 to 1:30, another agent can't come in at like 1:15.
Right.
For 30 minutes, that agent is only going to be there with their client. And then, or you can space out your showings. You could say like, maybe you need like an hour or so in between. You want to do a thorough wipe down. If the seller wants to do a thorough wipe down, they can certainly do that as well. And then they can also have, have showings on select days. So there's a lot of flexibility now that in traditional environments that we normally would not have. So those are, just two of the things that they can do. And then the last, if they just decide that they just don't want to sell at all, then again, they can move it to withdrawn. And then you can also let your sellers know that you can do virtual showings. A virtual showing would eliminate essentially really the public coming in their home. The only person that would be in their home is you as the agent. It would just be you walking your clients in from an electronic platform. So this is actually a really great infographic that you can share with your client.
Yeah, appreciate that. I think Jerusalem put that infographic in the group back when it came out, because it seems eerily familiar. So, and I love the advice of a lot of us know that we should have been doing video, know that we should have been doing Matterport, et cetera, et cetera. And we've just not, right? And now is the time, right? Now is the time to stop procrastinating and do that. For those of you that don't know, if you're doing Matterport also does a floor plan, right? Yep. So if you have a floor plan, if you have Matterport, if you have a video, if you've got great photos, it's going to limit the number of folks that are wanting to come into the listing. And, I think a lot of buyer agents now are only working with folks who are pre-approved. And there's a lot of listing agents who only want pre-approved people who are have seen the property online and who are qualified to purchase going into the home. And I think if you're a buyer's agent, really explaining that to the client in terms of, hey, if you were the seller, you would not want unqualified people coming through your home. Right. Therefore, it's really important to get pre-approved. So, I think now is the time that we can all be the agent that we hoped to be, right? The procrastination can kind of stop. And, I think that there's going to be some new normals here going forward with the virtual listing type stuff. And I think the agent that was taking photos just with the iPhone and throwing them in Bright, I think they're going to get squashed by their competition, going forward. Another question for you. So we've gone over a lot of resources today, and I appreciate that. Where can folks go for assistance with HomeSnap Pro, with the different CMA tools that you all offer, et cetera, et cetera?
Great question. So I'm actually going to show you, there's actually a couple of different places that you can go to for assistance. So first off, I am a customer success coach, and I support brokerages, brokers, admin, agents, appraisers in the Northern Virginia market. So I am available to set up webinars for your office. So that's one resource that you have. In addition to that, I also do webinars or in-person classes when we ever get back to that at the association level. So that is something that you guys do have as well. But in addition to all of that, I'm going to show you in just a moment, we have on-demand training that is available for you guys at any given time. And so all you have to do is just log in. And once you log in, right next to your name in the top right corner, you're going to see this support tab. And so if you click on that arrow, we can come down to the training link, and it's going to, once it loads, it will take you to, again, to all of the classes that we have coming up for your association. So for example, on Monday, I'm teaching a class on HomeSnap Pro, Remind, and CMAs.
Okay.
And this is available for all MVAR members, although every once in a while I do get people from other associations. So it really just, the seats do fill pretty quickly. I can see that the only one that has seats left is the Remind Pro. But it is typically available for just association members. So for example, so let's say HomeSnap Pro is already sold out. So let's say you just wanted additional on-demand training. You can click on on-demand and it will bring up some pre-recorded classes that we already have. So CMAs, for example, this is the class that I'm teaching on Monday, but it does fill pretty quickly. So this would be essentially that same class that I am teaching. So this is available for you. Another resource that we have is if you click on search help topics, this will essentially just kind of bring up like our online support center. So if you click on any of these, they will expound for more information. Or actually, let me show you something even better. If you come here to this search help topics, which is on the support menu, it will take you to a portal where you can ask a question. So sometimes you just have a simple question. You don't necessarily want to watch a whole video to learn one quick thing. So let's say maybe you are not 100% sure of the difference between maybe days on market and CDOM. So CDOM is just cumulative days on market. If you were to just type in that keyword DOM, it's going to, bring up a definition. And then in a lot of cases, so in this example, it'll show you how it's calculated. And then it'll also show you where you can find it within the listing. So I would say between, me as a CSC, and I am you all's, designated CSC. We also have on-demand training. We also have the search portal. And then last but not least, we have the YouTube channel where we publish videos weekly. Sometimes
okay, very good.
Throughout the week. So I would just go in and subscribe to Bright MLS on YouTube, and you will just, stay up to date, and you'll be notified every single time we've published something new.
I love it. Those of you that have not dug into Remind Pro, it looked like you still had seats available in that class, right?
Yes.
I am telling you, to be able to market to absentee owners, et cetera, that is gold. And it's a free service. That is a paid service for many people around the country. They have to pay a substantial amount of money for Remind Pro. So log in, click that training button, and get to that class, because there is gold and then there Remind Pro, without a doubt. So Naima, any closing thoughts today?
I would just say, make sure you guys go and just, when you log into our dashboard each day, we are constantly publishing new tips, many of which can be found here in these articles. So, while we're working from home, now is a great time to take some of our on-demand classes and just come in here and read some of these articles. You'll be surprised what you may stumble across, like this one here. So, but that is all I think for now. I think on Friday, we are going to go into all of these tools. We'll go a little bit deeper into the toolkit.
Okay.
And we will, I'll just be available for any questions that you guys may have. So.
That's awesome. So that is this Friday, 11 to 12:30. Sign up, go to theallegianceway.com, click on events. You can sign up there. We'll get you the Zoom link, And Naima, I appreciate you joining me today. This was chock full of great information. I hope all of our associates and other viewers take advantage of it. And I hope you have a great rest of the afternoon.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. You guys have a great week and be safe.
Take care. Thanks.
Bye-bye.